Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Jen, this is Wolf Down a Rabbit Hole, and this is my channel all about cross stitch. It's the 3rd, the 4th something of August. It's been about 2 months since my last video. I'd just like to say thank you to every one of you who's watched my whip parade. I did not expect the numbers I'm getting on that video, so it was lovely that you all took some time out to watch my video. I'm really pleased. Thank you. Thank you so much, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I had a little bit of a splurge. I think I've had about 15 new subscribers, so it's all lovely to see you. I hope you stay, and if any of you want to hit the subscribe button, because anybody who's watching and you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button so you can continue watching my cross stitch journey if you want to. There's no pressure. I'd like to borrow it now, and then if you decide at the end of the video not, you can always take it away again. It doesn't bother me. So, in the last, was it 6-8 weeks, I think, since I did my last Flosstube update, I've dyed tomato, I've stitched some smalls, I've model stitched 3 new patterns. There's an old whip that's been dragged out of semi-retirement, and there's some good progress and a new start as well. So, without further ado, I think I will start you on the stuff I made on the dyed fabric. So I cut off a chunk of my 18 count fabric from a bolt I've got that was originally going to be for some massive full coverages that I completely wimped out on not doing. And I went through my pattern stash on my Google Drive, and Stone Street Stitchworks had 2 free heart-shaped patterns which I'd saved previously. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could use that on this fabric. And then I thought, oh, I wonder if I could use one of my Georgie hand-dyed threads to go with it. So I did. This is my first finish, and this is an FFO. And while it's not great, it's also not bad for a first attempt at an odd-shaped little hangy doofer. It's the Stone Street Stitchworks Quaker Heart, using Georgie thread of Looney Tunes. It reminds me of fruit salad sweets. I don't know if you get them everywhere, but I know you get them over here. And you used to get little square blackjack sweets and little square fruit salad sweets. And I don't know, this colour just reminds me of those sweets. The only thing is, I didn't leave enough room around the edge, so you can't see all of the design very well, and you can't really see the colour I dyed the fabric, but I'm really pleased with it, and I think it's absolutely cute and not bad for a first finish. That's where I sewed it up. That's not so great a finish, but the rest of my sewing is, my hand sewing is pretty good. I'm quite pleased with it anyway. So I've got nowhere to put it in the background at the minute. So this is the other heart I chose from Stone Street Stitchworks, and this is the colour of the fabric, which isn't showing up on camera. If I tap it, no. It's coming out, it's not coming out as colourful as it actually is in real life. It's more of a salmony pink colour. No, it's not working. But I thought this heart in this colour would look good on it as well, and I planned on finishing it the same way I finished this, but it being that much smaller, I don't know if it's a good idea. So if any of you got any ideas on how I can finish this, I do want to do another hanging, but I was thinking maybe like a little cone finish. I don't know. But yeah, that's the other heart from Stone Street Stitchworks, and I couldn't tell you its name because it's completely gone out of my head. But I do have my notebook by here, and I'm hoping I've written it in there, and I'm hoping I don't drop everything and tip everything over. Sweetheart. This one is called Sweetheart, and it's on their website. And the other one is Quaker Rose, not Quaker Heart. That one is Quaker Rose. I just think they're really pretty. So I had a little bit of hand-dyed fabric left over afterwards. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I dyed it using beetroot juice. It did come out really, really strong and really vibrant and really pink to begin with. And then I quickly rinsed it off and washed half the colour out. But it's actually ended up as a muted salmon-y colour. Oh, there we are. You can see the colour in that. And this is the third pattern I made with the fabric that I dyed, or the third pattern I stitched from the fabric that I dyed. And it's a freebie from Mod Cross. They're on Instagram, and it's Stitches Are Always Among Friends. And I used metallic thread for the needle, which I think I probably should have used 2 strands for. But this is also a Georgie thread, but it's one of the moth ones, but I can't remember what the full name of the thread was. But I think that looks really nice on this pink fabric as well, and I definitely want to have a bash at dyeing some more. I've been chatting to a couple of people. Spicy Stitcher, she was telling me how she dyes fabric and stuff, so I'm going to have to give it a go when I get some powder dye, and on a bigger scale, I think, because I didn't, you know, when you look at the size of these pieces, it's not a massive piece of fabric, but I'm really pleased with the result as a test, and I really like this, so I think I'm going to finish this as a pillow as well. Not sure I'm going to put all these pillows, so which is why I want to do some hangy things. I then thought, well, while I'm in my folder looking at all these freebie patterns I've got, I came across one from Nia Cross Stitch. Now, with Nia Cross Stitch is actually based the other side of Swansea from where I live. And this was a freebie on, I think it was her Etsy. No, not her Etsy, on her Instagram. And it's Time for Me, Amser I Me, which is time for me in Welsh. And it's all called for bar the cookie, because I didn't have one of the colours. That showed up really well. You, in real life, you can't really tell the difference of the colours in the cookie. But yeah, I was going to finish this as a coaster, but I can't find any coasters that it would fit. So I might make it a keyring or just a little something to put on my pegboard over there. And I thought that's really, really cute. If anybody wants any of these, and I don't forget to put the links down below, just give me a nudge on Instagram or a comment down below, and I'll send you the links if I can find them for where these patterns are from. But this was a freebie, and it's also charted in English for Time for Me as well. But I thought, well, living in Wales, I might as well do it in Welsh. I also stitched Marumi Crafts. Let me get my notes up because I don't want to butcher the name of it. Mother Earth by Marumi Crafts, and I've just dropped stuff on the floor. And I decided I was going to use, again, Georgie threads. I didn't cut the fabric big enough, so there should be a lot more down here, tapering down here and up the top, but because I can't measure, I decided to cut a little bit out and put this up the top and bottom instead. And I chose colours that represented the earth, the sun and the sea on the sides, and then obviously in the middle is like a greeny bluey sort of all colours of the world sort of colour, which I didn't write any of the names down, and I'm trying to get it to, there we go. This is just on a 14 count white Ada, I think. Again, using Georgie colours. I can look it up if you want to know what the colours are, but I thought they looked fantastic. This, I also didn't calculate how much of this colour I would need, and I would nearly run out. So I wouldn't have had enough to do the top and the bottom anyway. But I still think it looks absolutely fantastic like that. I'm going to make this into a hanging, I think, with a little hanger at the top. I think it's, excuse me, I think it's Fab Design. Can't really see the blues. They're very aqua, pale aqua colour blues. And then the yellows for the sun and the earth. And I think it's a fantastic design. Stay up, you sod. This is from the Earth Day collab package that I donated, was it £15 to a charity of their choice, one of 3. I chose the C one. And then you've got the link to download all the patterns. I think it was like 31 in total. And this is the first one from it that I've actually stitched. And I really like it. So those are my pattern finishes. The next lot of finishes are my own designs. And I will start with the first one, and it's another Welsh one. And it's cwtch. There's no way to explain this word. It's so much more than what it translates to, which is basically a hug or a cuddle. But a cwtch is just so much more. Like, you could be cwtched in with a blanket and a book. You could go and give somebody a nice big cwtch when you see them for the first time in ages, or just give us a cwtch. Or when somebody's feeling sad, you just cwtch them in, and when someone's feeling, you make them feel better, just by cwtching them in. And it's a feeling more than it's just like a cuddle or a hug. And this is on my Ko-fi, and it's to go with Carrie ad, which, give me 1 second, you can probably see my pyjamas, or my pyjama bottoms. It's to go with this one, so I have stitched it on the same fabric, not quite the same colour, but this one's a pillow finish, so this one will be a pillow finish as well. I might get a little dough ball, and so I can cwtch them all in. See, cwtch. Yeah, it's available on my Ko-fi. There will be a link down below. There will be more of these coming when I decide which words I want to do. I've already had 2 finishes, and I'm sorry I can't remember who's finished it all together. I think Dreamin' in Ada has, and I think Victoria Evans on Instagram has as well. I'm really sorry. If you finished it, let me know. It's been lovely seeing the designs coming in. It's been lovely to see the stitching coming in though from people, and I'm just really glad that people appreciate the design process and how things, they're appreciating the Welsh words, and I am very grateful. So the next one I finished is the last in the Actar series. So bear with me. As you know, I designed a couple of patterns because I absolutely lost my mind reading Actar, A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. That's the first book. You can probably see them here. The first one I designed was a simple bookmark of Hello Feyre Darling, which is from book 2, when Rhys walks into the wedding. I was cinema. It's stitched in a iridescent purple metallic floss from DMC, and it's stitched on a baby blue glittery Ada, none of which is showing up in the video because, why show up the floss? Why show up in true to fashion colour? And it's not really showing up. The purple is absolutely stunning, and I just made it into a little bookmark with some foam backing. And this is available on my Ko-fi. I actually put them all in a bundle as well. The next one after that I made was To the Stars, and I've got to try and hold this so that you don't get all the reflections of my bedroom and my lights and my washing pile. That's To the Stars. That was the second one I designed. And then I think in my last video I showed you Be Careful. And that's got metallics in it as well, because I wanted something shiny to represent the siphons for Azrael. So the fourth and final pattern for now is Cassian's. And I couldn't think of a title for Cassian's. Like, that one's Be Careful, The Stars Who Listen, Hello Favourite Darling. This is just Cassian's, because, oh, we want Cassian. I mean, thank you to Mad Morty as well, because literally I posted this and she messaged me straight away, Jen, there's a spelling mistake, and I had to unhoop it. And I fixed the spelling mistake, and then I hadn't fixed all of the spelling mistakes, so she was like, no, go back, take it back, abort. So I thank you as my unofficial grammar spell checker. Lee's had a ribbon because he didn't spot it, and he looked at it like 4 times. But this is Cassian. I can think of no better way to end my existence than to defend those who need it most. And we've got his siphons down the bottom and his 2 short swords up at the top. Existence in the pattern has been recharted, so it doesn't quite look as gappy as this one does. I promise you it looks much better. I flubbed mine just so I could get it finished and rehooped, which is why there's a bit of a crease here, because once I back mine like this, I put fabric on the back and then I cut it all around the edge, and it's tight and fine. Pain in the ass when you need to undo it all though. So if I hold it like, you barely see the crease, but I'm really pleased with that. It's a really good sentiment as well. I mean, I had so many quotes of Cassian's I could have picked from. There is one rattling around in my head. I was thinking of doing some spicy book quotes, let's say, but I don't know yet. So you spicy book readers out there, if you do fancy some spicy book quotes, let me know and I will consider designing them. But I'm really pleased with that. So that's the Bat Boys. The Bat Boys is finished. I don't know if I would do chart anymore because I've lost my life to a whole new book. This one by here, 4th Wing, it is my life. And as soon as I heard this quote, I was like, I have to chart this. And so many of you have gone, yes, it is have really responded really well to this already. I've had Mama Bear Stitchery tagged me in a post yesterday, which didn't actually notify me till today, and she's finished hers and it looks fantastic. The Impossible Stitcher has also finished one, and she used a beautiful fabric called Werewolf. But why do I not own this fabric? And Kansas City girl Julie has sent me a picture of the fabric she's going to stitch hers on. I am so excited that Julie is stitching this. I'm just so excited that she is stitching this, because I know she loves the book as much as I do, and I've been sending like memes and stuff. We've just had a whale of a time. And this is my finish, and it is a dragon without their rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. And I've put up the top Article 1, Section 1, the Dragon Riders Codex, and down the bottom, Welcome to the 4th Wing. Those of you who lurk on TikTok will probably have heard this soundbite, which is why I've added that bit at the bottom. And that's the side note at the top of the page of Chapter 1 with this quote. And I'm really impressed with my little dragon as well. I'm quite chuffed at how well he came out. I had planned on doing another one here and here, and I thought it might make it too fussy, so I might do some other dragon patterns eventually when I'm brave enough. And then this bit represents the parapet at the beginning of the book that she has to walk across. I used some yellow fabric because I thought it maybe represented kind of the gold. But I've seen so many fabulous colour combinations since. Again, if you want this, it's on my Ko-Fi, which will be linked down below. I don't charge for any of my patterns. They are a pay what you want, so if you don't want to pay anything, you can just download it for free. Just put 0 in. If you do want to chuck a couple of quid towards my design process and support of the channel, I'm more than grateful for anything anybody chucks in, but it's really not necessary. If you want it, you can have it. But I'm so pleased. I'm so proud of this one. I was proud of my Actile hands, but I am super proud of this one. And I really like the frame as well. It's got very sort of oldie goldie sort of feel to it. That's the not teenager anymore. Going back into his bedroom. Day. So those are my finishes, which I'm all really, really pleased with that I've achieved in the last 2 months. Because I went through a bit of a, I can't bother to stitch, it's too warm, I don't want to do this, phase, as we all do in this time of year when it's summer and it gets too warm to hold fabric and stuff, and you just get all grumpy and miserable, because we love the sun in the UK, but unfortunately, sorry, excuse me, it is followed with ridiculously muggy heat, which is not pleasant and doesn't make pleasant sitting and stitching conditions. So anyway, enough with the moaning about the weather, because today it's actually raining. I have a new start. Now this is called Over the Moon. I will put all the links down below. Who did I see? Soph. I was watching Soph's video, Flosstube, the other day, and she's started this pattern, or she's planning on starting this pattern. It's a free stitch along. It started in January. It's massive. You know me and stitch alongs. I don't know why I do this to myself, because I'm still doing the crypt itself from like 2 years ago. But it's Over the Moon, and it's from a website. Oh, the name evades me. I'll put everything down below. It's going to be this big, beautiful pattern, and it's got squares that's sort of very, there's a raven in there, there's a wolf moon, yay, I think there's a deer in there, and it's just these blocks that go around in this lovely big square, and you can do it all in one colour. So I have to bend out of shot. I will bring that one over while I'm here. And this is the progress that I've made. And this is the size of the fabric. And this is the 18 count Ada that I have. It's very stiff. I'm using embroidery thread, cheap embroidery thread in black, because the coverage is amazing. This is, sorry, I'm knocking things over. Just stay. This is going to be a square here, and then there's a pattern with owls that goes across, and there's another square, and then there's another pattern border down the bottom, and then here's going to be the wolf, and then the next one, which I believe is snowflakes, and then the raven, and I think it's 9 blocks. I am really not prepared for this Flosstube today. It's busy stuff's been going on. I'll tell you in life update, but this is the progress I made in an afternoon. I really like it. It's going to look really amazing when it's finished. The pattern is in 2, so you can either do it on dark fabric with a light thread, or a light fabric with a dark thread. Now they say not to follow the dark fabric pattern for this version, because there are slight changes. I think that's what he said anyway. That's what she said. No, that's what the website said. And this is the progress that I've made. This is my new start, so I'm really happy with it. I might actually stitch on this tonight, because I'd really like to get some of the owls done, and maybe some of the wolf done. I want to try and get this bit done. But yeah, that's my new start. All the details will be down below. It's called Over the Moon. It's by somebody Galbraith. Again, oh my god, I suck at Flosstube today. But it looks amazing, absolutely amazing. If I get a chance when I'm in work, I will try and print the cover picture out and show you in the next Flosstube video, because I can't put pictures in on the software that I use. It just doesn't like it. But yeah, oh, it looks amazing. And on my whip, I have been making progress on Wednesday's window by the Spicy Stitcher. I think I've enabled a couple of people to go and buy this too, which I'm always happy to do. I'm down to the colour completion part. Oh my god, that looks amazing. Oh, it just looks so good. I think I'd finished this bit the last time you saw it, and I've been working my way around here. Nice. And I've started doing in the paler colours for Wednesday's side. And it's probably going to stay in this hook when I finish it. Obviously I'll have to straighten the hoop out. I'm sure somebody at the front door. Yeah. So that looks so gorgeous. I'm really pleased with that. It's so pretty. That's the Spicy Stitcher Wednesdays window. I can't wait to finish this. I'm really enjoying it. What more can I say about it? It's all the colourful colours. I have to change that bit there because I used the wrong colour. Because I was reading that square. But it just looks so good. Even I'm really enjoying this. It's so much fun to stitch. This is the one I tested the black cheap embroidery thread on to do the outlines instead of DMC 310 because like that stuff can get expensive. It doesn't have fantastic coverage either because the middle is DMC 310 and you can see through it, but the rest of it you can't because it's this other thread, which is maybe a little bit fluffier, but I really like it. And finally, I'm really trying to make these videos longer, but maybe I just need to do more stitching. Finally, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get this in shot. It's languished for well over a year. Some of you will be pleased to see it because some of you have been encouraging me to pull it back out and reminding me that I had plans. Oh my god, my frame is so big. Hang on. I need to move my needle minder. Sorry, there is a trailing thread. I apologise. There. Pokemon is back. I can't see you and show it. Yeah, this is Epic Pokemon by Lord Libidan. It's the circular one, not the massive square one. I can't fit the whole thing in picture very well. I've realised why it's been languishing. I was missing loads of colours. I was missing about 30 colours for this. So I've ordered 29 because one was out of stock. So I've done some filling in down here. I've done some of this down here. And I'm going to work in this section next. And I'm going to do it page completion at a time. That is the plan. So I was going to do it Pokemon a month, but I think I'll just work on it until I complete a page and then go to the next page. Ghastly is staring at me. He's been staring at me for like a year. The fabric's going to need a bloody good wash because it's yellowed a little bit, but it's a full coverage, so it's not really going to matter. I have had ideas on how to finish it. I have also... Oh, my other new start. Oh, I'll show you that next time. There's not much of it anyway. The other new start's Pokemon new start as well for the boy. But yeah, this is my progress on Epic Pokemon. Yay! And I've got 2 needle minders on here because it's a paper pattern, and I have the pattern here, and each of these hold them on. And it just looks really good. And this is on 18 count, not so white Ada. It's like herding cats. My project's like herding cats, and that is it. That is everything I've worked on in like the last 2 months. Yesterday, this is not cross stitch, but it is craft related. Yesterday, I went on the first of 4 sessions of copper foil glasswork course up in Craigenose Country Park. Google Craigenose. None of you know how to spell it. Up the Neath, no, not the Neath Valley, up the Swansea Valley, there is a beautiful, beautiful estate called Madam Patty's to the locals. It's the oldest theatre stage in Wales. Most Haunted did a weekend there. They do ghost tours and weddings, and it has a beautiful country park surrounding it. And in the country park bit, there's this little building that's just been refurbished, and there's a group of people called the Big Skill, and they run heritage craft classes. Now this one is run by Helen Banthorpe. I took Mam for a run in the car a couple of months ago, and we stopped in Craigenose for ice cream, and we had a little look around the shop. And Helen was behind the counter on this particular day, and she was telling us that she runs these classes. And I was thinking, oh, that's straight away in my head. I was like, I'm not going to be able to afford this. And then she said, it's pay what you want. It's offer a fair price. It's subsidised courses to make it more accessible for people. Now, we are in a single income household at the moment, so money is tight. So it was when I thought, well, it's a pay what you want. I'll pay what I can afford. And so for 2 months, I've been itching to go on this course because it started Thursday. What I didn't know until Thursday is it's a fully accredited course, and I get a certificate at the end of it as well. I'm like, wow. And I had so much fun. It's 4 hours every Thursday in August. And the first thing we did was learn how to cut glass, learn how to copper foil it, and then solder it with tin and lead. And then I went one step further and tarnished it to make it look copper as well. And it's made with recycled glass. A gentleman melts glass bottles down, flattens them out, and donates them to Helen, and she uses them for the courses. And this is what I made. I'm so for my first attempt. Okay, it's not the neatest, it's not the tidiest. My soldering could use some work, but look at that. I went for the, Helen was like, oh my god, you went for the patterned glass and the warped weird glass. I was like, yeah, go big or go home. And I also decided to do like some triangles. Most other people doing straight squares and oblongs. Go big, go home. This is me. I will make things difficult for myself. But I made this. I'm trying to find a good. So there's. Hang on a second. You're going to come in handy now. Those are the colours. So there's browns with weird swirls in it, and 2 different shades of green, and then that one weird frosted bit of glass and the weird warped bit of glass. And I thought, I've got to use that piece of glass. I'm trying to hold it so it doesn't show my fingers in the eye. There we are. And that, I am so pleased. I've got 4 more weeks of this. Next week we'll learn how to cut curves. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, what do you think, peeps? I'm so chuffed. I love it. And I didn't know we would actually come home with something yesterday either. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. And I'm really pleased. I really enjoyed myself. And the people I'm on the course with are lovely. And Helen is lovely. And I can, if I had the money, could see me going proper into the stained glass making. She's actually, she just messaged me as it goes. She's doing a massive piece for Vinnie Jones later this year. She's doing a piece for Ryan Reynolds. I was like, are you gonna get to meet him before the course is over? And she's like, no, it's October. I was like, oh, I'm sure all of us would really like his autograph if you did get to meet him before the end of the course. So she's doing a piece for Ryan Reynolds. She does awards. She does recreation windows for church. She does proper leading as well, not just copper foiling. What we're learning is copper foiling in the Tiffany style. So like 1930s Art Nouveau very style, which mine doesn't really look like, but I kind of like it anyway. So yeah, next week we're working on a 15-inch piece, probably about, a piece about that big, circular, and it'll probably be our final piece for the course that we work on. And be learning more about the Tiffany style and some glass history and stuff. And I'm so excited. Really, really enjoyed myself. And and I haven't done anything like this before, so it's something very interesting and new for me. So yeah, chuffed. So you might get to see some more of my glasswork. I'm really pleased. Yeah, if anybody's in the area, I don't know how far. I think they go across most of South Wales, because I think Hay on Wye was on the list of possible locations. I think that's about as far as they go. But yeah, if anybody's interested, I will. I mean, it's a 4-week, but this is a 4-week course. It's the most expensive course big scale cover. They do willow weaving, they do foraging courses, they do how to make charcoal courses, painting, creative writing, drawing, forest bathing, I think was one of them. Or was, no, that was on the would you be interested in page for forest bathing. Not entirely sure what that is. But mainly arts and mainly heritage arts and crafts, like willow weaving and stuff like that. So I think there's a gardening one as well with Isabel from Life at Number 27. If anybody knows her, she's on Instagram. She does a lot of gardening for mental health and well-being courses around the UK. And she was actually in talking to one of the course coordinators the other end of the room. I didn't get to say hello to her, but she was there, and she's lovely. So it's really exciting to see something like this, because there's not much of this type of thing up around where I live, and I've always wanted to do it. So I'm hoping they do a pottery one soon as well, because I'd love to do some pottery. So yeah, that's my crafting journey for the last like 2 months. I'll go into life updates. I'll do books first, actually. So I read Fourth Wing. I did mention it in my last video. This book is amazing. I recommend it to everyone. There's my Fourth Wing inspired bookmark that I got off Etsy, which arrived after I finished the book. But yeah, this book is amazing, and I cannot wait for book 2. The story is gripping. There is something on every page. It's either a bit of action on every page, or you learn something on every page about some detail. Of course, it's got a fantastic map. It's also got an actual map of the college in it, so you know where all the characters are, which is brilliant, because sometimes you're trying to picture where characters are in your mind, so it's nice that there's a map that you can see all the places people are. The map's in it about 3 times actually, and then that is the quote at the top that I used for my pattern, and I tried to recreate that dragon there as best as I could. I don't think I put the tail bit on one of his forelegs, but obviously style of not copying directly. But yeah, if you haven't read this, read it. I thoroughly recommend. It's brilliant. The dragons are brilliant. The storytelling is brilliant. The world building is excellent. I like the way the dragons communicate, and it wasn't just a voice in the head. There was feelings involved. I don't know if the dragons felt something, the rider felt something, and the dialogue between them, brilliant. I mean, I need a grumpy dragon in my life, because Ternanak is amazing, and I love him, and I want one. I want one. You will cry as well, though. I will warn you now. There's no getting through this book without a little bit of emotional trauma, but it is amazing. My next read is going to be Crescent City, but at the moment my book hangover is so big, I can't bring myself to read anything. That is my chair making that noise. I apologise. So that's it for books. I've just started rewatching Supernatural. I'm on season 2 already. I can't remember where we got originally. I know I haven't finished it, so I know at some point I'm going to hit the point of, oh, I haven't seen this bit before. I think it was about season 10. I think it was, I know Crowley was still being played by Mark Sheppard. And I love Mark Sheppard, he's brilliant. So I'm looking forward to catching up with that. And when Castiel, I thought Castiel came in season 3, but apparently it's season 4. So I got a season and a half to go before Cass comes in. And I think his character is brilliant. I think all the characters are brilliant. Bobby is my favourite. I loved Bobby. Oh, Bobby is brilliant. I love Bobby. But anyway, yeah, I'm rewatching Supernatural while I'm stitching. I've got 3 episodes of Lucifer left to watch. I binged Lucifer and now I'm like, oh, I've got 3 episodes left. And I get like this towards the end of a TV show. I just don't want to finish it. So I lounge and languish on the final couple of episodes. So I really need to knuckle down and watch those so I can finish it. Anyway, life update. As you know, in my last video, Mum was recovering from a broken ankle. Thursday, I get a text. I probably won't be home when you get home. I'll be at the hospital with Mum. She tripped over her exercise pedals and has broken her arm, her wrist in 2 places, and damaged her coccyx. Now, of all the things she could have done, she was walking backwards, which she knows she shouldn't do because she's not steady on her feet, instead of turning around. And she tripped over these little pedal things. You sit down and you pedal your feet, exercise things. So they've been unceremoniously dumped in the front bedroom with vigour by the looks of the state of them. So it was slung out the way. She's okay. She's in a lot of pain at the moment because her lower back is quite swollen as well where she landed. She tried to catch herself with her wrist, so she got 2 fractures. They had to be reset. Apparently she was sucking down gas and air like it was going out of fashion. Even the nurses were like, whoa. But she's okay. She's more annoyed at herself than anything. She's having no problems getting up and down the stairs, which was a big concern for us, but that's fine, because they've put rails both sides now. She's got the stability that she needed. The only thing she can't do is sit comfortably, but when the swelling in her back goes down, she'll be able to sit fine, and she said I can go back out then. She's just a bit sorry for herself at the moment. So I had to do her shopping today, but I didn't have to. I did her shopping today, because we don't send the boys to go shopping because they always come back with the wrong thing. So I had today off, which is why I'm doing my Flosstube at like absurd o'clock in the afternoon, because Lee's just gone over to cook Mum tea, and then my sister-in-law is taking the weekend shift, and then we're going to split it between myself and my husband because Sammy's in Ireland with work on Monday, so that's going to be fun for her. So yeah, Mum's having an accident-prone 2023. I then on Monday had cryotherapy. I've had 4 skin tags on my neck here that you've probably never noticed before. You're noticing them now because they're red and they're swollen, and they're coming to the stage where they're going to come off. But as you can see, this is a wide neck t-shirt, but I wear a lot of high neck t-shirts, and they were when we went to Longleat, the drive back, I had to sit with my t-shirt off my shoulder because they were snagging all the way back and just really sore. Now, if they didn't inflame and irritate me, they could stay, but it's time to be evicted. Be gone, fellow beasties. So yes, I've had that done, which was fun. It didn't actually hurt. It was quite an interesting little process to go through. It's been 5 days. By Monday they should have gone, and I can go back for a second treatment if any of them don't disappear. So yeah, wide neck t-shirts and trying not to scratch and itch has been fun this week. What else has happened? I was ill. That was great. I picked up the sickness bug after we came back from Longleat. Longleat was amazing. Loved it. It was absolutely fantastic. Got loads of photos of the wolves. I was like, literally, we were in the car taking photos of the wolves. I was like, right, we can go home now. That is the end of the drive-through bit though, which I didn't know. I got to hold lorikeets and this little bird who was sat on my hand drinking the nectar. We were walking through the area where they were, and all the others were like, drink it, eat, fly off when they'd finished. Me, this little guy, he came around nearly the entire enclosure with me before he decided, oh, I'm going to go look at Fion's tub, see if she's got anything in there. And he flew off then, and they were just so pretty. We saw meerkats. We saw an anteater sleeping on his back with his tongue hanging out, lolling out. That dude was out for the count. We saw beautiful, beautiful macaw parrots. I saw the arm of a sloth. He was up on the thing, and all you saw was his arm like this. No more of him, just his arm. What else did we see? Well, we saw all the animals in the safari park part. The rhinos were in their exercise yard, I think because it was coming up to feeding time. They weren't in the actual park part. The last time we went, about 15 years ago, there was a tractor on standby because this guy did not like my mother-in-law's car and he was gunning for it. So the tractor had to sort of slide in between us. That was quite entertaining. We saw meerkats. And Fion pointed to one as he stuck his arm through the thing, and the zookeeper was like, don't touch the animals. She's like, I'm not touching the animals, I just pointed, and he reached through to grab some grass. But it looked from the angle that she'd sort of reached her hand out and he'd reached his hand out. He was really cute. When we were when we were stopped looking at the giraffes and the zebras, the other side is the monkeys. Now you can bypass the monkeys. Oh my god, none of us went through. My daughter's car is new and she was like, stuff that, and Mum was like, you are not taking my car through the monkeys. But we could see the other side of the fence, and they were pulling windscreen wipers off, and anything they thought they could pull off, they were having a good old rip at. And they were running up and jumping on the bonnet and sitting on the bonnet and the roofs. It was really funny. But then this one car just started driving. I don't think they realised they still had a monkey, and this monkey was like, we could see him sitting. So I'm like, oh my god. But that was so cute. What else did we see? We saw loads. There's loads in Longley, and it is really nice. And it wasn't busy. It was, you imagine places like that to be absolutely heaving, but it wasn't like really, really busy. So it was just a nice little atmosphere. Take the family around. We hired a wheelchair for the day, so Mum didn't have to walk. Obviously, because she was still dealing with recovery from a broken leg, foot, ankle, part of foot. Yeah, it was a foot and her ankle she broke because my mother-in-law doesn't do anything's way off. So she went round. We went round in the wheelchair. We went on Half Mile Lake and we saw the gorillas and the hippo and these other weird black and white monkeys, and we saw 2 baby sea lions, and they were only 6 weeks old and they were tiny and they were so cute. Yeah, we had a whale of a time. It was a really nice family day out, and then I fell ill. When we got back I picked up this bug, so I wasn't very well for about a week, but I'm fine now. And that's about it for my life update, I think. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to share. I'm hoping to finish Wednesday's window. I'm hoping to get a page finish on Pokemon now that I got all the colours, bar one, and make some good progress on the Over the Moon Sal. I need to get back on and work on cryptids. And I also need to work on my Great Wave, which I will show you next time. And I've got a small I'm in the process of finishing, which I haven't shown you today. So I need to get back on that one as well. So, if you got this far, send me a little emoji of a wolf. And I will know you made it this far, because I hadn't intended on talking for this long, and sorry guys, but you got me for nearly 50 minutes. because long late and there's 20 minutes gone. Hopefully next time I'll have my glass pieces to show you as well. I'm hoping I can get back in a month-ish. Seems to be a month, 6 weeks. I'm managing these videos depending on life, obviously. I'm going to be busy with taking care of Mam with the boys and my daughter and my sister-in-law, so maybe not quite as much stitching, or maybe slightly longer, maybe 8 weeks, 2 months before my next video. Might have to unboxing before then though, so keep an eye out for that. So I'm just going to leave you with, please like and subscribe if you like my content. Hit the bell so you get notified of when my next video is out, and feel free to chuck a comment down below. I love chatting to people, and I just like to have a little bit more interaction. So what are you looking forward to seeing finished? Have you enjoyed seeing my designs? There's probably not going to be any for a while, so I won't be going, I made this, I designed this for a bit. I'm going to get back to finishing my actual projects, which will be nice. So take care, see you all soon, happy stitching, and yeah, leave me a emoji of a wolf.